All right? Now, here, so that he knows he needs help, he makes a second call to the second call guy. Now, the second call guy has been one who he was on a performance plan. His attitude about answering call has not been the best. When he gets out there, he's got an attitude. He doesn't want to come on call. That whole thing. The kind of thing that we all put up with and think it's just they're having a bad day. Okay? You know, so he comes out with an attitude. The guy who called him didn't want to call him because he knows he has an attitude. I'm talking relationship here now. He didn't want to call him because he knew he had an attitude. I don't want to call Bob. You know, I'm just talking to myself. But, you know, I don't want to call Bob, you know, because he's got an attitude. So he tells the dispatcher, you call him. I don't want to call him. Because when I call him, he's going to get me on the phone and he's going to grill me about this, why it's got to be me, make the thing. I don't want to call him. Have the dispatcher call him. So anyway, Bob shows up. All right, Bob shows up with an attitude. You know, we have a policy where you go down your pre-job brief. Everybody has a pre-job brief, hands, right? Okay, go down your pre-job brief. All right, so he starts going halfway down the pre-job brief, but because he doesn't like the way Bob's looking at him and Bob's attitude, he stops. Like the hell with it. He just stops and like, you know, okay, that's it. You know, go over there and, grab some insulation and this and that and go over and stand by that triplex. That was it. And he did tell Bob that, you know, that line's de-energized. But he didn't check it and verify, right? You know, that line's de-energized. So Bob, being a smart aleck, you know, thinking, hey, I just want to get out of here fast. Let me go ahead and hook this thing up. When he grabbed that energized line, that's when the contact started. Burner's best up. Burner, like I said, lost this on line. Now, guys, I'm sharing that because you have all put up with that Bob guy. If you can't get just general respect amongst your team, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Where to put the thing down there? Thanks. Okay? Care. Care about themselves and the team. Willing to go the extra mile. If you don't have team members who are willing to go the extra mile for each other, they're not going to help you. Trust team and company. Committed to the vision and mission. Belief. Okay? Now, take a look at this now. And this is going to be, like I say, you can get this presentation. Actively care enough. Key word there, guys, is enough. How much more do you have to see before you get engaged? Look at the second one. Sweat the small stuff. We're getting our guys that, hey, if you're carrying a box to the truck and see an oil spill in the bay, we expect you to set that box down and clean it. Not take your box all the way to the table and say, well, I'll get that when I come back. Because you know somebody's going to slip one. We expect them to do it now. Fix things now. Sweat the small stuff. Call it like it is. Look at this key word here, guys. Each employee is obligated to identify potential problems and communicate them with their leadership team. Accept constructive criticism. We have told guys that we have observation programs, driving, field observations. Accept constructive criticism because it's going to come in love. Nobody's going to embarrass you and put you down, but we're just going to say, hey, Randy, you know, the way you cut that wire, now, you know, I saw you cutting towards yourself. Now, I don't know, you know, that may be how you learn, and it may be okay, but we like to cut away from ourselves just in case something slips. I don't want to see you cut your forearm. Because we've had that before. We've had 24 arms cut by cutting this way. Right? So then, can you accept that, brother? Sure. In love. Not, oh, Randy, you idiot. Not me way over here. You know, look at he out there working. Oh, Randy, you idiot. How many times I got to tell you guys, good God Almighty. Guys, look at this idiot. He's been cutting. Wait, not that way. That's the way you build image. Okay? That's the way you build image. So, see, that's what I say. A lot of our leaders act like that. Now, see, I was born and bred in that nuclear construction. I know superintendents who used to just come and just cuss guys out for no reason at all. You know, that whole contentious. And then I've worked union, I've worked non-union. I know sometimes our union brothers want to, you know, don't like management, non-union. Hey. This is about your safety. Accept constructive criticism. Accept perfection. That one's for you. You accept perfection in yourself, and then you accept perfection in your team. And you start it. You can start it when you go back. Hey, I heard something today, and we're going to change, guys. I'm going to start expecting perfection from you guys. I told my guys this year when we start the year, there is no reason not to do a job 100% correct. No reason. And I ain't taking no more reasons for it. No reason. You got all the tools you need. You got all the resources. You got all the procedures, everything you need to just take your time and do the job right. I'm no longer accepting silly excuses. Because we've done that. You've done it too. We had a guy wreck a truck last year. Truck flipped over. And I'm talking this is our transmission truck, the big truck, flipped right on I-40, turned over, could have killed people, right? What does he say? Well, now here it is. Now this, I love this, and you'll love this. Okay, they had just finished an all-night job and went and did the cardinal sin. Had a full breakfast. How many know that's a cardinal sin? After you work all night. Tell the truth, man. How many know? I want to see your hands. I'm just someone who knows. Yeah, thank you, brother. They get out there on the road, got sleepy. So instead of I got sleepy, what they tell us, a deer came out. And I was trying to keep, like I care about Bambi. Now I do, but I don't care about Bambi more than I care about that material handler that flipped down the middle of Interstate I-40 and could have killed 10 people. Yeah, there was a deer, Bob. Now I'm looking at him like, you? So you got to rephrase it when people say stuff like that. So you were telling me that you avoided a deer and a $450,000 truck destroyed and could have killed people. That's what I'm saying. Now, who believes that? Who believes that? See, that's what I'm saying. But now, here's the key now. How many have accepted that? Don't raise your hand, because I know you ain't. But I know you have. That's why we continue to have CBAs. Because we don't call it out like that. That's ridiculous. You do that again, you're fired. We're afraid to say that. We accept it. Well, you know what? George has been with the company for a long time. I mean, George, he's a good guy. I know he has his moments, but he's a good guy. I mean, that makes sense. Deers do run across Interstate 40, Bob. Okay. Change expectations for team members. Look at this, guys. This is what I told my guys 3 years ago. Come ready to give 200%. I'm giving 200%. I expect it from folks. 200%. Okay? And we got some words in here. These are the people you want, guys. I told you I'm taking the guesswork out. These are the people you want. Winners. And people say, well, what's your definition for a winner? I've put it up here for you. Men and women. If you're married, be a good spouse. Okay? If you're a parent, try to be the best parent you want. Giving back to your community. Being the best person you can be. That's huge. Treating everyone with respect. Helping each other. Doing your part to build a better team. Everybody is obligated to build a better team. I don't know what your linemen make, but our linemen, they base 65,000. 65, and with the usual call, this, that, a storm or two, they're all at 90, 95K. That is a lot of money. More than 50% of college grads. That's a lot of money. For that money, I got a lot of expectations. I want a good man and a good woman. This is how we hire. Remember what I told you guys? We want to hire for personality. We ask questions about this in the interview. What are you doing with your family? What are you doing in the community? How are you giving back? What are you doing? Give us an example of when you went the extra mile for somebody. That's the questions we ask. And we got some great people. Okay, champions, guys. I love this quote. Champions, that's what we want. Through a process of self-improvement, sacrifice, service, and the attainment of goals, normally out of the reach of those except those who are willing to price. That's what we want. And I'm not going to read all these. You just glance at it because you can get this presentation. These are the behaviors you want in the individuals. Champions, guys. Stop putting up with nonsense and get yourself some champions. And these guys exist in your group right now. But a lot of times they're overlooked. They're the one who is the conscientious person. They're going to do it right. I don't want to send him. I want to get this job done quickly. I'll send, what's your name, brother? I'm going to send Rodney. Because I know Rodney will get right along the end.